welcome back to another video, and today is my a bit late review and kind of thoughts about the Marlin Tech ECU from Paul West, who's the previous owner of TDI North, and the Toda 41 Racing Manifold. Ollie with me here. I can see his ugly face. I'll do my window up so you can actually hear me speak a little bit, because it's a bit louder. So yeah, I meant to put this video out ages and ages ago, guys, but as you've probably seen, I was having some issues with the car. Basically broke it. Yeah, basically the car broke with the ABS sensor and everything, which is not good. But yeah, today I'll be showing you what I think and what you think as well. I want to get your input. But yeah, so the car is currently stuck in map 1. So as I mentioned from the other video on the channel where we went to Manchester and had it all put on the car, this car is the non-GT version of the Type R, which means that it doesn't have cruise control or like air conditioning, and the way you actually switch through the maps on this ECU is the cruise control button. So I thought it was the info button on the steering wheel, but it's the cruise control button. So I actually can't use 3 of the 4 maps at the moment on the ECU. It's stuck in map 1. Now I'll run through what the maps all do. So basically map 1 gives me like the power map, so it gives you about 250 horsepower with all the supporting mods. It gives me a higher RPM range. I think it goes to about 8,800 now instead of the factory 8,200. Jesus. Yeah. It brings in VTEC lower. I think VTEC now comes in at 4,500 RPM instead of 5.5, which can be a bit awkward going around town. Like I'm feeling like I have to change a lot more just to keep it below that rev range. You always like rev quite high though, just normal. That's the thing, yeah. Oh, quite a nice Mark 3 RS. Sorry, yeah. What else does it give me? It gives me flat foot shifting. That's the big one. That's a huge difference, both like hearing it, but also performance-wise. It's crazy loud when you're behind them as well. Yeah, it goes nuts. For it. What else? It gives me launch control, which I've also not tried out yet. Now, the reason I've not tried out launch control yet is the fact I haven't got a Bluetooth module from TDI North, which basically allows me to control all the maps from my phone. So that'll give me access to maps 2, 3 and 4, and also means that I can set the RPM to what I want on idle and launch control. At the moment, just stuck in, I think it's stuck at like 7,500 RPM for launch control, which is far too much. It just spins the wheels. Too much. But moving on from that, map 2 basically has everything that map 1 has, but it gives me pops and bangs on gear changes. So it's like the typical ST, yeah, proper ST driver. And I'm not a huge fan of pop and bangs, so I'm really happy that's not on map 1, because otherwise I'd probably have killed myself or the car by now, I reckon. Map 3 is a thing called valet mode. So basically what that does is it limits the car to 30 miles per hour. So if you want to leave it with someone to clean the car, or if you're going on holiday and you're leaving your car at the airport or something, and they need to obviously move it around, but you don't trust people, because it has happened before. My dad, when he had his Dodge, put an extra 210 miles on it when we were on holiday. Jesus. Weirdly, yeah. Crazy, isn't it? So yeah, that's quite cool. And the 4th mode is actually a big contributing factor to why I got this ECU. So basically, it cuts off the injectors to the car. So if I put it on 4th mode when I leave it in a car park and come back and change it, it's fine. So if someone steals my keys or tries to steal the car won't start unless I change it on my phone, which I think is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool safety measure, but again, I can't use it yet. But I think the Bluetooth module from TDI North is £269, which is quite a lot. It's a lot of money for something so small. Basically, what he's saying is he spent way too much on an ECU, and he can't use the majority of it anyway. Yeah, but the power's good. That's cool. And the flat foot shifting is very cool. So that brings me on to the next other kind of supporting mod that we did to the car, which was the manifold. Now, damn. Jesus. Yeah. Nice. Wow. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, the manifold is by a company called Toda Racing. It's a Toda Racing 421 Decat Manifold, and it comes from Japan, so you can only get them imported. They don't actually sell them in this country, which is why all the instructions are in Japanese. And when you ordered it in yen, which was quite funny. What can I say? What's your thoughts on the manifold? It is way too loud. And he doesn't even think it's loud. Like, I think it's loud. The Sleek has got a decat and borderline, it's got a full custom exhaust, which is borderline straight through. Yeah. And it's loud, don't be wrong.
And when he puts his foot down in front of me, I can't hear my exhaust because it's that loud.
It is quite loud. The biggest thing is, obviously, as you saw in the other video, it is so radically different to the standard manifold.
It's impressive.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, that you can tell the airflow is so much better, and that paired with the extra mid-range ECU power is just phenomenal. Like that's the big thing with the ECU, is it's not the top of the range or the bottom of the range, it's the mid-range which is improved, because obviously these kind of struggle because they're not turbo. To mid-range they can sometimes feel a little bit flat, but yeah, the ECU combo with the manifold seems to have done absolute wonders for the car.
Yeah,
Absolute wonders. Yeah. Obviously, what I originally wanted to do is get people's reactions of the car in the video, and I still might do that. The only issue is, because I've only just really got the car back, I've had to do certain things before I've been able to make a video, which means just how it is other people have got in the car, so it wouldn't really be their first reactions. Like Ollie's already been in it a lot. So it's not really going to be his first reaction, but it is different, isn't it? It is pretty dramatically different.
It's massively different. The first time, I didn't expect such a big change the first time I got in it.
Neither did I.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, you're gonna die.
It's the flat foot shifting is a huge.
The gear changes throw you back so much more.
So much
as you'll
better.
probably see from going down the dual carriageway, it's a mental difference.
A big thing as well, which I also forgot to mention about the ECU, is these cars come with a traction control, which I've always ran off, and most people just turn off anyway because it's traction control. But when you turn the standard one off, it's the TDI North ECU one comes on. Yeah, and it's pretty good. I think from what I've been told, obviously I haven't really came to the car around many corners yet, because I've been told that the TDI North traction control is like worlds better than the standard traction control, which is usually a hindrance. But I've been told that the TDI North one is actually kind of a good thing to have. We're going to get over to the next roundabout, and then I'll try and show you the flat foot shifting. Just let the car warm up properly now. But yeah, I'm happy with it. What, have you been doing anything on your car recently? I haven't really been keeping up to date.
Me and Lewis polished it all. We actually machine polished it to make it just look a bit nicer.
It looks sick, to be fair.
And then I've started painting all my calipers again, because you've probably seen they're painted, but they're painted horrendously. It's like a really off yellow, and it's all cracking and looks horrific, so I'm repainting all that. And then I've also found the GT ring that I want, and someone's got it that they're going to sell it before.
Oh, that's cool.
So that might be happening pretty soon. But other than that, no, it's just a standstill. Money problems in it.
Well, as I'm sure everyone knows who's watching, the COVID situation has just kind of shut everything down.
Car meets and everything has just completely stopped again.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, so just coming up to the dual carriageway bit where I'll try and show you the flat foot shifting. Another thing which I forgot to mention about the flat foot shifting is, for it to work on the ECU, your foot has to be 100% down, so you need to be completely flat foot throttle, otherwise it doesn't work. Which is another interesting kind of thing to bring up.
Basically, you have to be sending it.
Yeah, basically it's like a send tool. It's not something you can just kind of casually use around town, which is good, because I still like being the manual, like proper manual, rather than a kind of terrible semi-automatic. Right, so I'll do it right. Right, smiles though, smiles every time.
It's the noise of it, it's such a go.
Yeah, so as you could hear, it was kind of like wah, ba, ba, ba. It's very loud. It is very loud, to be fair.
Jesus.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of. I'll do some clips as well the other way, but that's kind of the what flat foot shifting's all about, really.
Literally, you just go in for it constantly.
It's like a lot of getting used to not lifting your foot. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know when we say flat foot shifting, basically, obviously in a normal manual, when you change gear, you lift off the throttle, put it into gear, go back on the throttle. With this, you keep your foot planted 100% on the throttle and just put the clutch in and put it into gear and then let off the clutch. So it did take some getting used to. It was quite weird. The first couple of times I tried it, I did lift, which kind of threw the car off. But yeah, you just kind of have to force yourself.
It is a massive change in like the shift speed as well. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
Because normally
100%.
when you have that like split second of the clutch is out and your clutch is back out, so you can put the throttle down, but you haven't got it all the way down yet. This is literally like instantly you're back on it.
Yeah.
Which is why the pushback's so much more.
Yeah. Well, when the biggest like kind of actual visual difference I've noticed is with the latest video on the channel, that car meet. As I'm sure you remember, I said I raced a Subaru on this road, going in a straight line, and every time he changed gear, you could see him drop back a little bit. So I think even though it's a very split difference, it does make a noticeable
It's the minute differences that make so much big difference in races. And
100%,
stuff,
yeah. So what I'll do is just drop back here a little bit. And the extra RPM just means you can ring the gears out so much more. Well, I got to 60 really quick. Jesus, man. Jeez. It's so weird getting to 60 quick.
Yeah. That quick as well, it's mental.
It's crazy, yeah.
If anything, it feels quicker.
Yeah, it's weird, But yeah, it is such a weird sensation. It's such, if anyone that's kind of watches the videos that I do that has one of these cars,
It's mental.
it's a completely different car.
It is. Like, I'm very much like, I like a Civic, but I do like to slate him for it a lot.
Everyone likes it. It's part of the reason you get one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to take the memes, you know.
I know, whenever I was in it, I was like, to be fair, it's quick, and it does handle very well. And then when you got the new ECU, the manifold and all that, I got in it, I was like, right, it's not going to make that much change. It's still a Civic.
Yeah.
And it's completely changed the car.
It's very
Like,
weird, yeah. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So quick, dude. Jesus, man.
It sounds fast as well.
I know, yeah.
Like,
It's
it's
crazy.
so loud when you're on it.
Yeah, it's worlds of difference. You have so much RPM.
Like, it's so loud. It just carries on.
It just goes on forever.
It just carries on.
It's crazy.
Like, I think because of that though, it sounds like you're not going like that fast because it's
There's
so
no gear change.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
like,
Kind of like a motorbike. Like
Yeah.
second or third, they just go forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
But then they they go. It's crazy.
yeah, but they're faster than like Civic.
They are faster than the Civic. So me and Ollie have just had like a really funny epiphany. So obviously I'm not going to go into prices and stuff, but one of
much.
these with like a full TDI North like Garrett turbo build, all the like work that goes with it, the brakes, the piping, everything, you can get a really nice condition second-hand Mercedes like C63 AMG.
I'd probably make it stage 2 at the same time.
Maybe. Because we were looking at this the other day with my friend Scott, who also has a Merc, that was the one that helped me with the ABS sensor. And we were like, wow. So, but here we are in a Civic.
In a bloody Civic.
Got to question your own choices though. Yeah, but in a Civic you can have a big fat Garrett turbo.
Like,
Can't
driving
have
it like the steering wheel's doing this, but you're not
Yeah,
actually moving.
exactly.
You're just straight.
Yeah. And then you can say I've got a turbo Civic, and then you're like the most hated person on the internet.
Yeah.
You know?
Every girl that ever asks you what to drive, you're like, a turbo Civic, and they're like,
What's that?
My mum's
got a Civic. Oof. Yeah.
Personal experience, by the way.
Yeah, so basically, I'm sure the girl that said this doesn't watch the channel, but I was in a club and I was chatting to this girl, and she was like, oh, so you're into cars, because she saw my lock screen on my phone, which is this, and I was like, yeah, I've got a Civic. She's like, my mum's got a Civic. I was like, All right then.
Believe me, I didn't stop laughing for a good few hours.
So yeah, that was quite a funny thing. But yeah, I mean, also can sequential gearbox this,
Yeah.
all-wheel drive swap it, like DMO with his Civic.
Use a Forester, just cut it
Use
up.
a Forester, cut it up, get the drivetrain, whack it in. Jobs are good, man.
And then you could probably buy a C63S.
Well, I looked, the S is like $8 more.
Yeah.
Which is less than a
let's face
sequential
it,
gearbox.
It's not going to be like less than that.
Well,
It's all-wheel drive swap.
Well, I mean, a sequential gearbox alone, you're looking at like 10 grand. Or
exactly.
from what I've seen.
Especially
what I've
to get
heard.
it done properly.
Oh, ramps. Oh, Jesus Christ.
They've cut up the roundabout near us, and there's about 7 like big ramps
my
going up
Jesus.
the tarmac, and it's not nice when you've got suspension like ours.
So, like, in one of my first videos, I was like complaining about the road surface of Lincoln Council, and then now they just made it worse. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, as I'm sure you saw from the videos as well, it's a completely different car. Anyone that's got one of these and is like umming and ahhing about an ECU, even if you don't get this one, if you just go for one which has got one mode, which is the power gains and the flat foot shifting, do that, get a manifold. Doesn't have to be a Toda Racing one, and yeah,
It's crazy.
jobs are good, man. You're making your car so much quicker, louder, for not that much. I mean, it is expensive, but compared to like what other people do,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good deal, I reckon, in my opinion. Like, so I'm not saying I paid this money for these parts, because I didn't. So this ECU from Paul West will cost you, it's £1,000 off the shelf, but if you're trading your standard ECU, you get £100, it's £900. That's not including fitting. Or mapping, true, but yeah. And then the manifold that's on this one, this is the 41 Toda one from Japan. Policey boys. Equates to £1,300. Again, I did not pay these price for these parts. So yeah, all in all, if you were to buy both of these things brand new,
Stupid money.
you're looking at £2,000, which is a lot of money.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of money. You can buy cars for that. That's a lot of money.
You can buy Celica for that.
Yeah, that's a lot of, or an MX-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. But for what you're getting, if you eventually want to, like me, if you want to turbo your car, if you want to supercharge your car, if you want to twin charge your car, I don't judge. If you basically want to make a big power build, both of these items I would say are a must.
Yeah.
Like you need to get a 41 manifold anyway, and you need to get a different ECU anyway.
We'd buy a turbo manifold.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
one way or another, you need to buy a manifold.
In my opinion, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it right.
Yeah. There's no point in going cheap on some stuff and then whacking a, let's say, 15 PSI turbo in your Civic,
blowing your engine up,
and then the whole thing's going to crap.
It's just not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it. So yeah, it is a lot of money for these parts. If you're thinking like, oh, this looks really cool, it's a fucking lot of money. If you buy them new.
For a Civic as well.
For a Civic as well, yeah. If you think about it, most Civics you could get one for like 4 or 5 grand. Yeah. So you're looking at almost half the price probably of a car on 2 parts.
Amazing.
Which isn't great.
No, not at all.
But for what it does though, smiles, lots of smiles,
Lots of smiles,
lots of fun. And yeah, you do have people commenting, they asking about what you've done to the car, like the Subaru dude at the meet asked like, what have you done to the car? I was just like, TDI North sauce. Secret sauce. Secret sauce.
Still need to get that sticker made.
We do, yeah. So I ordered this morning, my order got shipped from TDI North of a new TDI North Sunstrip, because we ain't about the slow life, we ain't about the Mugen life. Nathan. Joking. And some stickers. But yeah, I want to kind of get a custom sticker made which says TDI North sauce on it and put it on the back. Just like a tiny little one. I think that'd be quite funny.
It'd be quite funny.
Yeah. I'm going to end this video by showing you guys the 2 kind of parts and where to find them online. So the first part here is on Paul West's site. You can just type in Paul West ECU on Google and it's the top result. Now, I think this is the closest package they've currently got on. So this is the FN2 tuning packages supplied with Marlin ECU tech, stage 1 and stage 2. And they can come with intakes, and they recommend exhaust manifolds and an exhaust. And there's the whole list of things that the ECU does here, and you've got the performance stats and stuff like that. So go check that out. And the second thing is on TDI North site. This is where you can find this. This is the Toda Racing exhaust manifold. This is a 41 for the FN2. I can see here it's actually £1,530. So it's a little bit more expensive than I thought it was. Yeah, they say this is the best kind of manifold to get the highest level of performance out of the Cave 20A engine that you can. You can see it there. So yeah, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, give it a like. If you like this content, please give it a subscribe. If you didn't like the video, as always, leave a comment and I'll change up the content. So I'll see you in the next one.